Jackie was considered a style icon. Do you think that in some ways, do you think this maybe invalidated her a little bit on the Hill? Do you think in the political arena that her sort of being seen in some ways as very trendy, very on top of her look, do you think that made it harder for her to combat in politics or easier?
Well, initially, the Kennedy politicos thought that she'd be a liability, certainly not an asset, because she was always very stylish. And she got some negative comments in the press about how much she spent on her wardrobe every year, like it was something like $30,000 then. She says she couldn't spend that much if she wore sable underwear. She did say that. But at any rate, then it became a tremendous asset because here was this young, beautiful, vital woman married to a very handsome man, and the American women were ready for that kind of look because, see, the two predecessors as First Lady were Bess Truman and Mamie Eisenhower, and they were more grandmother types. And so here's Jackie, and with all her youth and glory and, like looking good and, usually in French designs like this one. But anyway, I couldn't resist. I did it for Jackie. But any rate, but then she had to have Ole Cassini designer clothes, but in the French way. So then it became an asset. Then they realized, what they had on their hands. When they first went to Canada, preceding that trip to Paris in 1962, Jackie wore a red suit. This is how she was so clever. She would read up on a country and learn their mores, which colors were, people liked and what they wore there. And so in Canada, she wore a red suit. And that reflected the Royal Canadian Police who wore red. It reflected the flag of Canada. And that's the first time Ole Cassini said, because of the crowds that she drew in Canada, that he realized she was numero uno. She proved it even further when she went to Paris, where the thousands upon thousands were lined up at the airport screaming, Jackie, Jackie. So much so that President Kennedy said, he says, by way of introduction, I'm just the man who accompanied Jackie Kennedy to Paris.